Hey guys, this is Valentina Palladino for Ars Technica, and today I'm here with one of the newest Sony phones, the Sony Xperia X Performance. So recently Sony kind of revamped their smartphone lines. The X Performance is the top tier one. This is the most expensive one. It'll run you about $699 and it's unlocked. And it has a Snapdragon 820 processor in it. The most powerful smartphone in the Xperia X line that you'll be able to get. Right underneath this is the Xperia X, not the Xperia X Performance, which is this one. And the difference between those two is that the Xperia X has a Snapdragon 650 processor. It runs Android. It's a regular, square design. It has a 5-inch FHD display. It's a pretty basic Android phone. Sony puts a skin on Android, which, it's not, I prefer stock Android, but it's perfectly usable and it doesn't really intrude very much. On the side here you have the power button, your volume rockers, and this button is actually a cool button because if you are from the lock screen, you can activate your camera just by pressing that button. Sony is very into making its phones extremely camera friendly. So on this phone in particular, you have a 23 megapixel rear camera, which is pretty good. The front-facing camera is 13 megapixels, which again is also really good considering most flagship smartphones have, 5 megapixel, 8 megapixel front-facing cameras. So you'll be able to take pretty good selfies with this. Inside here you have 3 gigabytes of RAM. You can go up to 64 gigabytes of storage, but also it's expandable via a micro SD card slot. So you can go up to 200 gigabytes of storage, which is pretty nice. So it has these rounded glass edges, which are really nice and makes the phone feel really good when you're holding it. And it's also not too big. And on the back it has kind of that brushed metal finish, which is really nice. It comes in a couple of colors. You can get in black, this rose gold, and I believe another gold color. Inside here is a 2700 milliamp battery. It'll last you a good amount of time, and it also comes with a quick charging cable in the box, so it shouldn't take that long to charge up, even from low power. The camera also features something called steady shot video stabilization. So when you're taking videos, it'll kind of reduce that shaky, handheld feel, which is really nice if you plan on taking a lot of video or, vlogging or anything like that with this camera. So even with that video stabilization to get rid of that kind of shaky effect, this phone does not record 4K video, which now, you're starting to see more smartphones doing that, so it is kind of an absent feature if you're really looking for that. And also there's no fingerprint sensor, on the front or the back. There's a lacking privacy feature on that as well if you're someone who relies on fingerprint sensors a lot. So just to compare the X Performance to another Sony phone, the Sony Z5, the premium one that also came out around Mobile World Congress. The Xperia X Performance is smaller and the screen is not any better than the Xperia Z5. The Xperia Z5 has a 5.5-inch display and it's also a 4K display. So this is kind of just like a cheaper version of that. If you're not on the market for a Xperia Z5, you could go to this and you're still going to get a pretty fast processor. The Xperia X Performance will be available on July 17th and it will come unlocked. So really this is for somebody who wants a very premium Android device